Clone.
Oh, you're finally conscious. Somewhat. Keep your head down.
What happened?
It appears Scrawn was a bit more worried than she let on.
Really? I doubt they would have gone after me just because Screon was worried.
Perhaps not. Perhaps if I wasn't involved, and you hadn't randomly left an Aku during a sacrifice.
I'm restrained. Are you?
No,
Do they know where you are?
no, they likely have some guesses.
Will they be able to find you?
Not in time.
Is there anything you think I should know?
I have a plan.
Care to elaborate on that plan?
Not enough time. I might be quiet for a bit. Reese is starting to wake up, and I may need to intervene.
Of course. Keep her safe.
I will.
Reese. I feel nauseous. I try to open my eyes. Everything's foggy. I blink a couple times. Everything looks a little less foggy, but I still feel dizzy. I passed out, right? I think that's what happened. How did that happen? Someone's talking. I can't make out what they're saying. The fog finally starts to fade. I can kind of make out my surroundings now. There are 3 Ari ladies, Screon and 2 others, the purple ones, from Vish whatever. Dear, are you awake? That sounds like Screon. Almost, I mutter. I blink a few more times. What happened? I ask, slurring more than I'd like to admit. I try to focus on Screon. She tucks some of my hair behind my ear. Her touch is gentle. She's trying to smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. I close my eyes for 4 seconds. I open them, and I'm staring at a light blue dollus folded up into a human-like shape. The dollus doesn't look sad, but I don't know what a sad dollus looks like. I close my eyes for another 4 seconds. Clone succumbed to insanity. One of the purple Ari ladies says, Insanity?
It's just a way to excuse her earlier behavior.
Where is she?
She's currently pretending to be unconscious to your left.
Clone's there, slouched over. She looks unconscious. She's a good actress. There's always a chance. Screon starts, closing her eyes. How do I explain this? Overexposure to crystals can lead to a myriad of health issues. Since we're exposed to crystals so often as Ariareae, we're more susceptible to these health issues. The Blubbards do their best to select candidates less susceptible to the effects, but there's only so much they can do. I doubt that.
Smart.
Do you have to be a jerk right now, Reese?
You don't have to, but listening to me might benefit you. Might help you stay alive.
Oh, right. I'm stuck with the creepy seal alien god in my head. Neat.
Especially if you want to escape. And stay alive.
Yeah, I want to escape. Anything I should know?
There's a chance you can convince Screon to help with your escape.
A chance? Reese, Screon says. She looks concerned. I wonder if it's just an act.
She's concerned. About Clone?
Yes, I respond. What happened? Screon asks. She looks worried. She sounds worried. So I'm going to take a wild guess. If I tell them everything Clone told me, they'll deny everything and kill Clone after they kill me.
Pretty much.
So I just tell them part of it? Or do I completely lie?
Part of it. Try not to lie.
We were looking for one of Clone's crystal ingredients. I start. Clone said the ceremony wouldn't take long, so we decided to look for it, since it can normally be found on Akus during Parosea. We couldn't find it, and we were going to go back to the ceremony, but Blueberry mentioned that it can sometimes be found in ice pockets, so we decided to look for it there. Screon frowns at the mention of Blueberry.
It was a smart decision to mention me.
We were just going to check and leave, but the monsters attacked. We weren't in any danger. Blueberry took care of it. Still, because of the attack, we were taking a bit longer than expected. And then? I don't know. The last thing I remember was the three of us walking around, looking for the ingredients. I felt really dizzy. I think I collapsed. Screon looks relieved. I'm glad you're safe. This planet is full of dangers. Like you.
I was thinking me, but I suppose the Outlier are somewhat dangerous.
This whole one-way telepathic communication is really creepy. You know that, right?
Normally only the first generation complains.
Like the crystals? I ask. Screon looks torn for a second before nodding solemnly. It's rare, Screon explains. Well, lies softly. I prayed and hoped Clone would be safe. I knew she spent more time around the crystals than the average Aria, but I thought she was okay. The crystals shouldn't have affected her like this. Not now. Now?
Here's the information Screon is referencing for this lie. If she was more susceptible to the effects of our crystals, it should have affected her when she was younger. Less susceptible individuals are normally only affected later in life.
But none of that's true.
No, our crystals don't have unintentional negative side effects, and we the Blubberts would gain nothing from pretending they do on Pagos.
On Pagos? So you lie about this somewhere else? Screon, we have a message from Sheeta, the older purple Ari lady says. What is it? Screon asks. Sheeta's elder. Her health is fading. Fast. Screon's eyes widen. She's a really impressive actress.
Their plan is to have Screon complete the sacrifice, while the rest of them deal with Clone's trial.
Here, the younger purple Ari lady says, handing me a bottle of pale purple liquid decorated with stylized pictures of flowers. We didn't know if you had completed the ceremony or not, so we brought this. You can keep it. Head back and finish the ceremony. We'll take care of Clone. That's ominous. The younger one turns to Screon. Once you finish the ceremony, you should stay on Sheeta with Reese, or take her back to her home planet for the time being. Or kill me.
That would be the plan.
We don't know if Clone will die yet, Screon says calmly. I can see the pity in their eyes.
They know they intend to kill her. Screon is deceiving herself into thinking she can change the outcome if she attends the trial.
I try to stand up. I stumble and Screon catches me. Well, let's finish this ceremony for the person we know is dying, I say, trying to smile. Then we can visit Clone. Screon's attempt at a smile is far more convincing than mine will ever be. Reese. 2 giant snakes arrive at the ice pocket. The first one to arrive lazily slithers onto the ice and just lays there. The second one is more alert. It would be watching us if it had eyes.
It's not every day that something like this happens, and someone has to take them back to Vishnuga.
Right. While we were knocked out, the purple Ari ladies covered Clone with crystals. They glow and lift her about half a meter into the air. The older purple Ari lady leads Clone into the alert giant snake. The snake only relaxes once they're inside its mouth. The younger Ari lady turns to us before she follows them. Take care, she says. And they're gone, leaving me alone with Screon.
I think you're forgetting someone.
And you, in my head. And the giant snake. Screon takes my hand, smiles, and leads me into the giant snake. Once we're inside, she lets go and begins getting ready to leave. Soon enough, we're on our way back to Sheeta, where she plans to kill me. I guess now's as good a time as any to try and convince her to help.
Agreed.
Okay, what cards do I have to play?
Me. I have all the information you need. Start a conversation with Screon.
Screon is staring at a map on the wall, petting cotton candy. Clone will be okay, I say.
That's an interesting way to start, and a wonderful name. And you accuse me of withholding valuable information.
Scrown stops petting cotton candy and turns to me. She smiles. Screon. She sounds so confident, so sure of her words.
You shouldn't find a sacrifice's words reassuring.
I hope so, I answer. She will, Reese repeats. Her temperature fluctuates a bit. Is she okay?
She should be.
Thank you. I appreciate the reassurance, I say sweetly but carefully. But the mortality rate for Clone's condition is incredibly high.
You know this, and you still insist on rushing back to Sheeta. The Serpens will be exhausted by the time we get there at this rate.
Yeah, she'll probably die. Reese concedes. Without your help. But if you help her, she'll live. That's sweet, dear, but... Karen's alive. Reese sounds confident, almost cocky.
She can't be serious.
What are you talking about, dear? I ask. Karen, I'm pretty sure you two knew each other. She's the Ari lady from Sheeta who Clone replaced. It sounds horrible when I say it like that. She knows who Karen is. How do you know her name?
Clone told her.
Did Clone mention her? She introduced herself.
That's impossible. She's dead.
Why would she lie about that? I'll humor her.
More information would be useful.
Well, I hope she's doing well, but what does that have to do with Clone? Reese is warm. She's happy. Karen's alive, and if she escaped, Clone can as well. Reese. Scrown is still smiling. Her expression hasn't changed since I told her Clone will be okay. I can't tell what she's thinking. She starts laughing. Her laugh sounds a lot like Clone's. Then it breaks. Her laugh devolves into something that sounds like a sob. If they find out that you know this much, Screon says, her voice barely above a whisper, they will kill her, whether it's her fault or not.
They would, but I've taken that into account.
Good to know. Blueberry claims that's been taken into account, I say. Screon freezes. Her eyes are cold. Did you three just sit around planning this before we caught up with you? She asks.
Stay calm. She can't hurt you.
I wish. It would have been nice to hear a plan, I answer, instead of just being told to swallow a crystal I didn't even need to swallow. Screon stares at me. Her expression is intense. She doesn't say anything.
She's interrogating Cotton Candy.
Clone's blubbert is involved, Screon finally says, slowly, carefully.
My reputation precedes me.
I nod. Screon watches me, running her fingers through Cotton Candy's fur. She glances down at her blubbert before looking back to me. Her expression barely changes, but there's something new there. I can't quite tell what it is, but it's there.
Perhaps hope.
I hope so. Lone's blubbert formed a telepathic connection with you, she says. Yep. I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned this, but it's really creepy having someone in your head privy to all your thoughts. Not sure if the snide remarks and occasional advice are worth it. Screon stares at me for 5 seconds. 6. How much do you know? She finally asks. Screon. Reese is quiet. She mutters every so often like a young Aria.
What are you thinking?
Reese is quite confident.
Even if my associate is involved, Colone will not be able to escape the consequences of her actions.
Would you report my involvement?
You'll get involved regardless of what I do.
I'm sorry.
And I don't intend to lose you.
Thank you. I know. Reese starts that you were planning to kill me for the sake of your Aku, because your job is collecting and preparing sacrifices. She's quiet again for a moment. I think that covers the main points. You have until we get back to Sheeta to convince me that this plan could work, I say.
Or you kill me and let Colone die.
Or I complete my job and ensure that Colone does not suffer the consequences for her blubbert's actions. Reese's temperature spikes as much as it ever does.